The victim had shown up here at this colony. He was supposed to go and meet with his fellow guys to go and try and divvy the money or make an explanation as to why the money was gone. But in all actuality, he didn't care. He was actually laughing the entire time. And his girlfriend didn't know anything about it. Because according to her, he just had money. Now, in that, him and his ex-girlfriend had walked into the bank, and the guy here was the watch out, making sure nobody else came in, and also was looking out for cops. The guy in the center was the fence. He was supposed to be getting what was in the box. He never received it. And then, above and beyond that, we also have the bartender. And the bartender is a true bartender. He's got secrets. He knows secrets. He also knows the patron who is now the victim. So as you see, everyone here has connections to the victim, including myself. I've been investigating these guys for a long time. And nonetheless, even though I'm a detective, I was here at the scene. So in all actuality, the first thing that happened was the fact being of you had him getting ready to explain what was going to happen, and was pointing his finger at each and every one of them, saying how much that they were supposed to be getting and how much they would not get. And as you can tell, each one of them was a little upset. Except for the girlfriend. I mean, she was the girlfriend. She already had him, supposedly. But in the same instance, the ex-girlfriend had means and motive also, seeing that she still had feelings and she wanted to get back with him. Now, while this was going on, you had the bartender fixing drinks, and the brother, who we find out was actually the brother of the victim. So he had more than ample reason to kill. Because if he dies, everything goes to him. Nearest family member? Oh, big motive. They're not married. So yeah, again, big motive. So he decides to go get drinks because he had to cool down. Because it was his own brother. So yeah, he was going to be a little ticked. So while he's getting the drink, the ex-girlfriend gets up and just runs into him just by a bump. And goes and whispers in his ear something. Nobody knows. She just walks over, mean as all get out, and he is looking questionable at her the entire time. Now during this, he goes and gets drinks, but him and the fence all of a sudden start getting into an argument about the location of the drinks. Now, while they're sitting there doing that, they almost get to some fist fighting, because they actually started getting up. It takes the girlfriend to break them up. While this is going on, the ex sits there and just starts mouthing something to him whenever he goes and takes a drink. But then in the same instance, she comes by, gets mad, acts like he's going to shoot the victim, goes like that, blows. The guy looks questionable at him. And then from there, takes another drink. Finally, things calm down enough to where they want to sit down again. But while trying to sit down, the guy's explaining about the safety deposit box, or gets ready to, whenever something odd starts happening. And then from there, the girlfriend tries to get over there, but the ex-girlfriend gets there first. Holds his head as he passes out, and then notices that he's dead. Now, I don't see this possible. You have two people that touched every single drink. You have one person that didn't touch any drink, and another person that only touched a few drinks. And even the bartender touched every drink. Now, I'm not homicide. So, in that whole lineup of things, I'm going to need help. It's up to y'all to try and find out who, how, when, and where. Because this is interrogation and investigation 101. Even if you have the opportunity, even if you have motive, what's the one thing you're missing?
Me.
Thank you. You have to have the means. Without that, you might as well forget getting a conviction. You might as well chalk it up to an accident. So in this, we will now go to y'all. Can anyone make any sort of an observation of what needs to happen next?
As of yet, has there been an autopsy?
Yes, he was poisoned. The thing about it is that within the poison was also knockout type suggestion. In other words, the poison that was there was actually mixed with a few substances.
Then was he taking any medication before he came?
No. He is a perfectly healthy man. Unlike one of our other people on here.
Which one of them is taking the medicine?
We've got one person in here who apparently has an addiction to nicotine really badly and must have something. In that whole scenario, does anybody else have an observation of what? If you were a detective, what would you do?
Why was the one guy who had the nicotine addiction arguing about a placement of the cups?
They were arguing because apparently the brother thought, by what he says, was not his drink.
What were the drinks that they ordered?
That is where you have to ask the bartender.
Sir, can you tell me what kind of drinks were ordered for this table and who had what?
There were 4 drinks. What I understand, the man in the cap there ordered just a straight scotch. The man with the jacket asked for a whiskey. The girlfriend asked for her something fruity. And our victim asked for a gin. Just a simple gin tonic, that's all it was.
What about the ex?
Like I said, it was something free. Let's
You
see.
said the girlfriend was.
Yes, the ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
What about the one? Oh,
There's only 4 of them got a drink.
okay.
girlfriend swears up and down she doesn't drink.
They just wanted to get back together. But she apparently knew something wrong was going on. Why would she want to?
Ask her.
In the video, you're making gun motions as if you know something bad's about to happen. But apparently you stated before that you wanted to get back together with the man. How do you explain it?
Well, I was angry that he didn't give me my cut for the money. I did so much in that robbery, yet I got so little cut.
But if you got back together, wouldn't you have access to it? Wouldn't it be better to get the other girlfriend out of the way?
Well, yeah, but I'm not a murderer.
Being an ex, she wouldn't have hard feelings anyway.
Anybody? Oh, we got another one. Yes.
Did the bartender happen to talk to any of them before the meal?
The brother took all the orders. I can't speak on that.
But you also have history with the victim, do you not? What was said there?
I can't speak on that one. I'm a bartender. Now, if I gave up every single secret I have, I wouldn't have much credibility on people asking me, telling all their secrets to me.
Were you personal friends with the victim?
I was, once a time.
Did you have a falling out?
Again, that's personal history.
But if you had a falling out, during which you could have had a motive, to kill him,
Like I said,
over which you could have still been angry.
what, kill a man in my own bar?
Just motive is not enough to kill.
Besides that, the dead body is bad for business.
That is true. Bad for business.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yes.
Have you tested any of their fingertips for the poison? Because whatever they had to use, they would have had to touch.
Yes, that's what's really unique to me. Is the fact being that out of all of them, none of them showed any signs of poison.
And they wore gloves.
No. No gloves on any one of them.
Perhaps it was put in the cup before, sir.
We have tested the cups. And guess what? There's no poison inside, outside, or in the drink itself.
Could have been like anything else, like maybe the table, a chair, or a napkin?
Would you like to investigate that?
Sure.
Come aboard. So you're looking for poison exactly in all areas. Correct?
Areas that most recently touched and possibly placed his hand near his mouth.
Okay. From there, on the tablecloth, you notice that there is a trail going from the cup, right where he's sitting, about that long, of liquid. Also, on the cup itself, there's a little bit of liquid, but it's not poison.
Did they have any food to eat?
No.
What was the poison used?
The poison that was there was actually cyanide. So it's very, very quick acting.
Could have been maybe in a hand wipe. But I noticed there's a packet right in the center.
Those are nicotine patches.
Cyanide
Yes.
needs to be entered in through the mouth in order to kill.
I would think it would have to be, but in the same instance, with everything that I've come across, even though I'm in robbery, I have found that needles, razor blades, knives, coating of any type, actually instigated into any type of physical ailment of whatsoever could cause the poison.
Were there, had you examined them for objects on the body?
I was waiting for someone to actually say that.
The ex-girlfriend, I wanted to know.
Okay. We are going to search each and every one of you. Let's start off with the fence. Looks like he's having a little trouble. went a few places lower, didn't it? He's got a very hidden object. I feel molested. So he's got a gun and he's got a lighter. But here's the thing that's interesting. Cyanide can be attached to nicotine patches. Now, we'll go with the girlfriend. What have you got on you?
I don't have anything.
Ooh, spiteful, aren't we?
My boyfriend is dead. How do you expect me to be calm?
Well, I'm sort of finding it a little surprising that you're the one holding her head.
Beat me over there.
Oh, she beat you over there. That's kind of quick acting, isn't it? Especially since you didn't have a drink.
You can't prove anything.
Oh. Okay, let's go to the brother. What did you have on you? Ah. An inhaler. Construction tools, I will give you that, but powder? And you did get the drinks.
And? He's my own brother. Why would I kill him?
Because you didn't get your cut, and you would get some money with his death.
And you're the cop, and you say you're spying on us. If you spotted anything, couldn't you have stopped it?
That is true.
What about the ex?
I say.
What do you have on you?
Dead guy.
That's a first! Brilliant! Give the man of applause! Wow! That is brilliant! I love it. Oh, Murder 3000. No. So you have, what is all that you have there? Band-Aids, I understand, to a certain point. Sanitizer could be used for poison in high quantity. Eye drops. Who knows the history of eye drops and bartenders? I've got some raising hands. Would you please to elaborate?
Eye drops can cause a lot of ailments. You can mix things in with them. And it's thick, easy, tasteless, colorless.
Very intimidating.
And also, keep my eyes from getting dry. I have
Nice.
I have an eye issue.
Oh, well, you do have glasses.
By a doctor. Talk to a doctor.
And here's the other thing that's very interesting to me. There's a piece of plastic in here. I don't really understand what that is, but I know I've seen it before.
It's a nasal spray.
Would you like to elaborate on what that is?
Is it a needle?
Looks like a cap of something.
That's the cap to a water gun.
A cap to a water pistol. Interesting.
She has a water pistol.
I saw it too. Pat her down.
Sexual harassment.
On my bar. Next film.
Now, in that, you've got some very interesting qualities here. In the fact being that you've got 3 ways to kill him. You got 3 people with very easy opportunities and ways to kill him. I mean, the inhaler, you know that could be used to poison it, and it would not leave a trace of poison inside of it. Same thing with the eye drops. Same thing, unfortunately, with the nicotine patches.
So you've been observing them, following them. You know they're
I was wondering when that was going to come up. I may be a cop, but I did come up on this scene when it happened. So in that whole scenario, yes, I am also a suspect, and one of the reasons why I cannot investigate.
You need to empty your own pockets.
The only thing I have in my pockets now is a badge.
Are you willing to prove that?
Yes, but in the same instance, it would have to be under oath. Oh, brilliant. Love it.
Did the Vic have any nicotine patches on him or an element where he would need to use an inhaler? Or eye
Very
drops.
good. But the only thing about it is, here's the interesting scenario to that. All of those are able to be put cyanide in.
Yeah, but did he need them to
No,
where...
he did not have any physical elements at all. And since they did have
And
contact...
did they find a nicotine patch on his body when he died?
No.
What about a Band-Aid?
No, they did not find a Band-Aid. Very good one. I like that.
Is the bar still open?
I do not know if he wants to keep it open now.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, it's one of those, can we come back later to this? Oh, that's nice.
How many of the drinks had ice in them?
Very good.
Oh, about 3 of them did.
Which ones?
The gin, whiskey.
And the gin's what the victim drank. So the cyanide could have been an actual ice. You said there was a liquid.
Yes,
outside
and
the drink.
cyanide can be added to ice as it melts to actually poison. One of the reasons why it took him 2 drinks instead of 1.
And it would also
That really points the finger in a certain direction, does it not?
But if that was the case, then why are the other 2 still standing?
Because what if it was only certain ice? It doesn't have to be an entire ice.
He did serve the drink.
How much of the drink did they all drink?
Oh, each one of them, now you got to remember, these 2 were fighting over the drink. They never drunk.
Okay.
She didn't take a drink. She sipped it once.
So that would be the other reason.
She doesn't have eyes.
Did anyone have possibly have previous contact with his clothes?
Every one of them. But, I will say this much. The girlfriend had more opportunity with the clothes.
Were the clothes tested?
Do you want them tested?
Absolutely.
Ah!
For nicotine.
Now, oh, nicotine only?
Everything! Everything in creation!
If that was the case, then I'm going to have to open up the side shop.
We're doing a striptease act. If you look on his body, when you're talking about the clothes, there is poison. It's covering his shirt. Almost the entire front.
Was anything spilled on him?
What type of gun is it?
That's a 38. It's a 38, but it's also an automatic 38. Very, very lightweight, very, very versatile.
Very, very broken.
Probably.
Who do you think acted most suspiciously?
Who do I think acted most suspiciously? I'm sorry, but this is just one of those things where I always follow the money. Being in robbery, you have to. The brother seems to be the most likely suspect, but also he had the most opportunity. So in that whole scenario, the only problem that I have with that is if it was killed with cyanide, how did he know that he was going to drink out of it?
Okay, where was the poison on the shirt most concentrated? Was it underneath the jacket possibly, or like around a pocket area where you can have a napkin or a handkerchief?
It is actually all down the front. And I mean quite saturated.
Like someone spilt?
Exactly. It's almost like it was spilt.
Did anyone bump into him at any time that day? Because that poison could have been absorbed through the skin.
It very well could have. Now, who's to say where it was applied and when? All the way in the back.
Okay, I have 3 questions.
Oh, we've got an investigator finally.
My first question is, why didn't we check the bartender's pockets? My second question is, what was the, like, I know you said, what was the nexus motives? And then the third question was, how do we know that they're all not working together? Or how do we know that they haven't all tried to...
Finally, somebody that actually thinks really outside the box. They were working all together. But it made sense. Why? They all wanted him dead, except for the girlfriend to a point. To a point. Think about the girlfriend. When I reviewed the robbery, I decided to go a little bit further. And I decided to check a couple of the other tapes a little bit earlier. Like a couple of days earlier. Come to find out, she was the teller. So it was an inside job. And in that, that's the only way they knew which box to pick.
Oh my God, I hope we don't run out. You know, I hope you don't run out on video in this one. It's all
No,
video
we
already
did
at
not.
3,000.
Maybe she
We
used
took
a
out
water gun, and that's how the water...
27 minutes.
Oh, why not the other side? Yes, take off your jacket, please.
The butler did it.
Oh.
When you pointed at it.
I can't see.
Now, here's the only question. Do we test the water gun?
Yes. Yes.
Well, we test the water gun. Now, here's the only thing about it. There's no cyanide in it. And yet, here's the other catch to that. It does have some other things in it.
Like what?
Eye drop solution and sanitizer mixed up in a high concentrate. And the other thing is, if you remember about the poison bottle, the fence had it. The poison bottle was on the fence. Now, how in the world did you get that?
I'm pointing it for her.
Why are you pointing to her? She never ran into you, though, apparently.
Well, she actually did.
Did she?
No.
Did she?
Why would I have motive to kill him? I love him. To kill her.
Are you saying you're trying to kill that woman?
No, but I could.
Okay, let's take a review. Because I noticed that nobody has padded pen. If you did, you would have already solved it.
Can I ask a real quick question?
You have a package.
Yes.
Okay, so you have everyone working together, all in a cut for this. Why isn't everyone against each other? I mean, honestly, it seems like they're all trying to get each other, and one of them succeeded, one of them failed, and it didn't go exactly as planned.
Very good point. It didn't go as planned. Now, take a rewind over everything you've seen and everything you know about this. What do you know about the tablecloth?
It was wet. There was a lot.
We have somebody with a water pistol. So now we know what happened at that point in time. But before then, we had the brother carrying the drinks, did we not?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no poison in the drinks though, is there? There's no way to check for the whole ice thing until it melts. But even then, I very seriously doubt we'll find it, seeing that it's covered his entire chest. Now, if you go back to whenever all of this started, you have the girlfriend sitting there, the ex here, the brother there, and then you have the fence. They're arguing. When they're arguing, that's when she gets up. Now, if that's the case, also, could something have happened when she whispered?
Wait.
She could have been thinking about possibly as she's leaning over his ear, distracting his attention away from off the cup and keeping it towards her. As she may have slipped something.
She had another opportunity to poison the drink when she bumped into the brother. She could have easily slipped something.
She could have easily also handed off an object.
What sort of object would she hand off?
Poison bottle.
And the opportunity to pass it between the two came in the fight.
And maybe they're supposed to pass it to the girlfriend, who in turn passes it to the victim.
Now, in that whole scenario, but doesn't that mean they're working together if that's the case?
It is possible.
It is feasible. It is feasible.
We've proven nothing.
Actually, we've proven quite a lot. There was knockout type scenarios in the drink. But that's not when he was poisoned. He was either poisoned before and it took effect after, or he was poisoned whenever he was poisoned. Now, if that's the case, can anyone, with all the evidence we have in front of us, tell me how this happened? You have all the clues.
I have a theory. Okay. My theory is that they're working together, but they don't know. For instance, I think that the ex-girlfriend is secretly poisoned him just enough to where, she can get him down to where he'll need her. But at the same time, I think that, I don't know, what's the guy with the coat and the blue? I was gonna say the guy.
The Finn.